The best luxury SUVs in 2020. Picking the right luxury crossover or SUV is getting more difficult with each passing year as automakers scramble to meet growing consumer demand. Luxury crossover and SUVs range from compact and fuel-efficient to large, luxurious 8-passenger houses on wheels and high-performance options too. Here's our list of the best luxury crossovers and SUVs you can buy in 2020. Before you start watching, be sure to subscribe to the channel and press the notification button to be the first to see these awesome new videos. 1. The Aston Martin DBX. The Aston Martin DBX has now been officially revealed after 4 years in development. Designed to appeal to new and existing Aston Martin customers, the DBX SUV is a rival to the Bentley Bentayga, Lamborghini Urus, and the most powerful versions of the Porsche Cayenne. You'll need to pay at least £158,000 to have one in your garage, and first deliveries are scheduled for spring 2020. Underneath the vented bonnet, you'll find a 4.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine sourced from Mercedes-AMG. It's already used in the Aston Martin DB11 V8 and the Vantage, plus many high-performance Mercedes models, but has been tweaked for the DBX to produce 542 bhp. The engine makes the DBX a very quick SUV. 0 to 62 miles per hour takes 4.5 seconds, and the car's top speed is 181 miles an hour. Aston Martin says the engine has a different firing order for the DBX, giving it a unique sound, and an active exhaust is fitted to enhance the noise. 2. Maybach GLS 600. From the moment Mercedes rolled out its Maybach subdivision with the launch of the S-Class based Mercedes-Maybach S600, it was a foregone conclusion that a super luxe SUV wouldn't be far behind. Now that the Mercedes-Benz GLS class has been thoroughly revamped, the time has come for the Maybach SUV, and it's shaping up to be quite the upscale crossover. The Mercedes-Maybach GLS 600 is powered by a version of Benz's twin-turbocharged 4-liter V8, good for 550 horsepower and 538 pound-feet of torque. The engine can be further boosted by 21 horses and 184 pound-feet for a short time thanks to the Mercedes EQ-Boost hybrid starter/generator motor, which runs on a 48-volt electrical system. Ride quality has been adjusted for Maybach thanks to bespoke suspension software and tuning. A set of 22-inch wheels are standard with 23 inches available. As you'd expect, every inch of the cabin is constructed with top-shelf materials and touches unique to the Maybach, including rear folding tables in the 4-seat version. The 4-seat version in itself is exclusive. A wooden parcel shelf separating the cargo area, and a refrigerator that Mercedes-Maybach suggests you use for champagne, as one does. The sales in the United States are expected to begin in the second half of 2020. Three. Porsche Cayenne Turbo S E-Hybrid Coupe. Porsche was the first high-end sports car maker to jump into the SUV pool more than a decade ago, and many enthusiasts thought the idea was all wet at the time. As it turns out, Porsche turned out to be crazy like a fox, with the Cayenne and later the Macan garnering marquee huge profits as it transitioned to being more of a full-line manufacturer. But don't get it twisted. Porsche has taken great pains to make sure its SUVs handle as well as haul. Porsche has continued to build on the Cayenne line by adding all manner of high-performance variants, the highest of which to date is the Cayenne Turbo SE Hybrid. We're talking supercar numbers, as much as 670 horsepower and 663 pound-feet of torque, courtesy of a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 making 541 horsepower, teamed with a 134 horsepower electric motor located between the engine and the Cayenne's 8-speed automatic transmission. All that power means 0 to 60 in just 3.6 seconds and a top speed of 183 miles per hour. As is the case with the Bentley Bentayga Hybrid, the Cayenne Turbo SE Hybrid is a plug-in, so it'll be able to travel for up to 25 miles or so on electric power only at speeds of up to 83 miles an hour. We're guessing that won't be a common occurrence. If you want the coupe version, it'll set you back an extra $2,000, but whatever Cayenne e-Hybrid you choose, you'll get the best Porsche can muster from an interior trim perspective. 4. Lamborghini Urus. Lamborghini promised that its Urus would be emblematic of the marquee profile as a purveyor of super sport models, and it did not disappoint. The Urus participated in our 2019 All-Stars competition, and while it didn't make the podium, it was lauded for its performance envelope, thanks in part to its 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 with total output of 641 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque, enough to push the Urus to 60 miles an hour in just 3.6 seconds and onto a top speed of 189.5 miles per hour. Among the Urus kudos at All-Stars, massively impressive on the track. So fast and secure, tons of traction and plenty of power, and the chassis engineer deserves a really big bonus. The Urus also looks the part with an edgy, angular profile that leads to an unmistakable Lamborghini look. The Lambo aesthetic continues inside, with seats and other touches that exude luxury and sport at the same time. If an SUV that you can take straight to the track is what you're after, then you're after a Urus. 5. Bentley Bentayga Speed. Bentley was the first ultra-luxury marque to roll out an SUV, and it came out of the gate firing all the way to 187 miles per hour with its all-new Bentayga, a vehicle it billed at the time as the world's fastest SUV, thanks in large part to its 6-liter W12 engine pushing 600 horsepower. Bentley also made headlines by offering a $170,000 Mulliner tourbillon clock by Breitling as an option, and it was the first Volkswagen Group vehicle to install a 48-volt electrical system to control the Bentley Dynamic Ride setup. Since its reveal back in 2015 at the Frankfurt Auto Show, Bentley has been busy rolling out Bentayga variants, including a relatively more affordable V8 model, as well as the marque's first ever plug-in hybrid with a 3-liter V6 supplying the non-electrified power. One of the latest Bentayga variants to hit the market is the Bentayga Speed, with an updated version of the W12 pushing 626 horsepower. The Speed has also reclaimed the crown as the world's fastest SUV, thanks to a 190-mile-per-hour top speed that just nips the Lamborghini Urus, which for a time had snatched the title away from the Bentayga. We have a feeling it won't be long until an automaker attempts to get a crossover to the 200-mile-per-hour mark. We wouldn't bet against Bentley. 6. Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Rolls-Royce spent the better part of a century building some of the world's most opulent and expensive cars, but it was only a matter of time before it succumbed to the siren song of the SUV craze. The result is the Cullinan, the Rolls-Royce of SUVs. It shares much with the new Phantom, including its all-aluminum architecture, magic carpet ride suspension, and the sweet 6.75-liter V12 with 563 horsepower. The engine's been returned to help it better motivate the Cullinan's 3-ton mass, and it can roll in stately fashion to 60 miles an hour in 5 seconds flat. Like the Phantom, the Cullinan is exquisitely appointed with the finest leather, metal, and wood accents, and is designed to be whisper quiet and supremely comfortable inside. But unlike the Phantom, Rolls engineers also spent a good chunk of time developing the marque's first ever all-wheel drive system in order to make sure the Cullinan was duly capable off-road. Of course, its $325,000 starting point is just a suggestion. Most Cullinan buyers will option them up exponentially from there. 7. Land Rover Range Rover SVAutobiography long wheelbase. You can make the claim that Land Rover was the first to introduce the idea of a super luxury SUV with its Range Rover division, a line of extremely capable off-road vehicles that have increasingly ramped up the upscale with every succeeding generation. The Range Rover SVAutobiography serves as the pinnacle of that development, with a raft of upscale touches and a version of the Range Rover SVR's supercharged 5-liter V8 tuned to 557 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque that puts the dynamic in the name. The SVAutobiography, LWB's roughly 8 inches of extra wheelbase, a healthy 122.9 inches, doesn't come cheap, as it's roughly a $30,000 premium over the standard SVAutobiography model. But hey, no price is too high for all that extra legroom for your rear passengers, no? The latest generation Range Rovers have been out a while, so there are some interior details, especially in the technology department, that are showing their age. But if you love Range Rovers and want the pinnacle of the marque's luxury trim, then you want the SV Autobiography and you want your wheelbase long. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe and push thumbs up.